So one of the most common questions coming through right now is, what home workout equipment can I get that's inexpensive but allows me to have a versatile workout regimen, training regimen while stuck at home because the gyms are closed and or I don't want to go to the gym. The reality is that a lot of you are going to be at home for the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's crucial that you maintain your exercise regimen, not only to help keep your sanity and maintain your general fitness, but as well to maintain a strong immune system. So if you're in a pinch, here's a few pieces of equipment that you should get your hands on that on a per piece basis are well under $100. From a coaching perspective, priority one, and I say priority one from a coaching perspective because I'm advising clients on this exact thing as we speak. Those individuals who can't get to the gym now, both locally and distance-based. Varying resistances of bands and varying types of bands, as well as many dumbbells as they can get in terms of varying loads, or kettlebells. Kettlebells are good too, relative to their individual levels of strength. And the reason why is because for the majority of individuals, there's two factors contributing to the importance of resistance bands and dumbbells and kettlebells. The first one being the fact that a lot of people just don't have adequate levels of strength to do only body weight exercises all the time. It's inevitable for a lot of people that when fatigue sets in, their form will be compromised and their risk of injury will increase. So having access to other forms of resistance will allow them to train with a lower risk of injury, because when fatigue sets in, they can either lower the weight or they can adjust the exercise, modify the exercise as needed. The second reason being, for some people, body weight exercises are still too hard. And if body weight exercises are still too hard, having lower levels of resistance available is absolutely crucial so that you can do more than nothing. There's also a group of people who are extremely strong, and these pieces of equipment become useful for them as well because they can combine different exercises to ensure that adequate stress is applied by incorporating dumbbells and band tension with body weight exercises, or further, just other dumbbell and band-based exercises. If budget happens to be your primary concern here, then I would suggest from a load-based perspective, starting with band tension, from band tension moving to dumbbells, and then finally from dumbbells moving to kettlebells. If you're quite strong, dumbbells will be much more economical than kettlebells. They tend to cost less per pound from most distributors and manufacturers. Once you have bands at your disposal, once you have dumbbells and kettlebells at your disposal, you're pretty much set. You have resistance available. But we can always add on to that in order to A, optimize training sessions with minimal equipment, as well as to ensure that we are able to increase the level of variety with which we can pull on when considering available exercise selection. Another excellent piece that I would suggest people get their hands on, if they can, and assuming they have a safe place to anchor it, is some sort of suspension system such as this. This is probably going to be one of the best options in order to effectively target your mid and upper back, as well as introduce an incredible variety of exercises to your training regimen, including but not limited to leg, back, core, arms. You get the idea. There's a lot we can do with a set of suspension straps. They tend to be a little more expensive. They do require a certain level of physical strength for the majority of exercises, but again, inexpensive compared to most pieces of training equipment, space efficient, and again, I know I sound like a broken record, but extremely versatile. Assuming you already have or have managed to get your hands on resistance bands, some dumbbells relative to your individual level of strength, and as well a suspension set of some sort, then the next thing that you'll probably want to get your hands on is going to be an abdominal mat or an exercise mat. It's a simple piece. It's not a necessity, but it'll certainly allow you to do a lot more exercises with a greater degree of comfort. Now you could just do a lot of your exercises on a carpeted floor or on a mattress, or simply throw down a blanket or pillow, but having an exercise mat is also a good option. This will come in handy for any exercises with which you're laying on your back or on your stomach on the ground, or any exercises that you are primarily targeting the abdominals with. Depending on your ceiling height, you might also want to get your hands on a jump rope. You also might want to not get your hands on a jump rope if you have neighbors that live underneath you. They will probably not like the fact that you're jumping rope, and you might want to go with a cardio approach that does not involve you going up in the air and then slamming back down above their heads, especially if you're going to be indoors for 2 weeks, because you will very quickly make enemies. There are, of course, many other pieces of equipment that you could get. If you're quite strong, investing into a chin-up bar that can be anchored on a door frame might prove extremely useful, or further, one that you can mount directly into the studs on your wall or the rafters in your garage, depending on what you have access to in terms of space, efficiency, and the ability to set it up. These can all be useful tools that are inexpensive, that add to the variety of your training and will allow you to get a more than effective workout in even when your gym is closed. It just comes down to getting back to the basics. Now, if you don't have any of this equipment and you're looking to get some of this equipment, I have posted links in the description below. If you have questions about training, I want to know, how can we help you? Send us a message, comment, ask your questions, inquire as you see fit. This is the time for us to help, and we'll do our absolute best to answer any questions that you may have.